And speaking to the millennial group up here, and saying, you know, that there have been labels put on them as well. So, you know, I think I you know, have an advantage, so to speak, and so does Brother Courtney and anybody who works in the educational field, because we don't necessarily, unless you choose to, have that disconnect with the younger generation. I don't. And matter of fact, I'm always trying to learn from them, whether it's the newest dances or their music or, you know, what they like to eat. You know, that if I grab a taco, they're like, you eat taco, you know, and it just throws them. But it's like, you know, I'm always trying to find ways to relate to the newer generation, not trying to push them away.
There's a story to say between my two aunties and one of their sons. So one of the aunties was like, probably telling the son, no, don't do this, no, stop, don't do this, don't do that. But then the mother turned around and was like, so what does he need to do? You keep telling him no, you keep telling him stop, you keep telling him don't do that, don't do that, don't do this. But you're not explaining to him, no, don't do this, and then do this instead. Explain yourself in the sense of not saying you have to get down to that child's level and make it seem like they're undermining you or you're not the parent anymore, but teaching them so that way as they get older and grow up and get 17, 18 years old, 19 years old, or 22, 26 years old, they're not stuck in a sense of, well, I don't know this common sense of understanding this or working through this problem or going through this situation and feeling down about themselves. But at this point, they've gone through their life understanding that if they have a situation or a problem, they can talk to somebody about it and get an understanding, not just say no and then you got to figure it out by yourself. So that's what it is.
All right, let me try to perform this best that I can. You've talked about change, which I think is really the key. So for me, what I find is like the millennials are looking for the OG to change versus we both change. And it's just interesting. So I guess the other thing, I'm curious with your panel, okay, so I don't see me represented on your panel. So is that to say that me as an OG, you're telling me how you think and feel, or is there someone with you to represent me? Because again, to me, it's the setup is the same way I think it is in life. It's like millennials counsel among themselves. And then so when OG comes in, it's like, well, you don't understand, see, you don't understand, and so I'm supposed to change so I can understand. And I'm sitting here thinking, I've been where you're trying to go. So why not we both bridge that bridge together?
Absolutely. I can see. I can see how that, you know, could be the way to see it. But like I said earlier, that's not the intentional. We were intentional with this program. It's to explore the disconnect. We want what you're saying, like you know, we really want that, and not just today, like after today, next week, next month, next year, and so forth. We're looking to do something that has, you know, I don't think it's been done consistently, you know, just throughout the city of Memphis. And, you know, with that being said, you know, we are a new young adult ministry, and this is our first program. And so a lot of things are new to us. We are still trying to figure things out. And we are looking for criticism, healthy criticism. We are looking for feedback, things of that nature. And so, no, it's not to cancel that out and say that, oh, you should listen to us and change. It's so that you guys, we're just opening up a little, opening up. And we want you guys to open up back. So the intention was in the right place. But no, that wasn't the thing when we started this panel. It wasn't the intention at all.
I want to interject something. You got something? Go ahead.
I heard that you said that millennials, it seems as millennials want the older generation to change when it should be both ways. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. It's not that we want you to change and that we don't change. We want, when we're saying change, well, I'll use myself as an example. Typically in a black household, the relationship with parent to child is, I'm right, you're wrong. regardless of age. For example, I'm 25 now, and I've had to have some conversation with my parents to let them know that just because you believe this does not necessarily mean that I believe it, and it can't be forced upon you. Now, I'm not saying that I don't revere what my parents are saying. Are the words that are coming out, while they may be good intention, are they coming out as constructive criticism and help, where you're taking the time to see where that child is? Because like you said, you've been there, you've been places that we haven't. We need that expertise, we need that knowledge. But how are you giving that knowledge? Are you giving the knowledge in a way that is pushing that relationship of wanting to hear it away? Or are you doing it in a way that's conducive where the child can ask questions, or ask questions meaning that the questions aren't viewed as being disrespectful?
So, touch point so just I just want to give this touch point in this. I think that I hear both sides, and I think that's one of the unique vantage points that I have, is that I'm not so far gone that I can't see what the millennials see, and I am not so far gone that I'm out of reach with the OGs. I still kind of consider myself an OG. So at any rate. But I think what we got to look at is a matter of perspective. Now let me give you an analogy. So the analogy, I'm coming to Frank and I'm coming to you. So the analogy would be in perspective. If I am driving a car and I got 3 lanes of traffic, say I'm in the middle lane, I got a car on my left and a car on my right. We're both traveling the same direction, going about the same speed, trying to get to the same destination. But there's an accident up ahead, and it's miles ahead, and I can't see it. Would it be better for me to roll down my window and yell out at my neighbor, hey, what's the slowdown? I see traffic slowing down. What's the slowdown? Because their vantage point is the same as mine. They may be a slight bit off, a few degrees off, but essentially we're both looking at the same thing. Would it not be much more wise to tune that radio that's in that car to the news, where I can hear the air traffic controller say, there's a wreck on Interstate 240, you need to get off, redirect, go this way, this, that, and other. And it's a matter of perspective. The older generation has a unique vantage point where they sit high, they look low, they've seen things. And so while we're talking about all this, I just think this is a great point for us to remember. This is about perspective. And so what we're trying to do in these moments is what we're trying to do is align our perspective. It's not going to be a complete total alignment. It's not going to be perfect. You're always going to see things different than they do and vice versa. But the closer we can get to that point, the better for everybody involved.
Is in private schools. Not saying that public schools aren't good, but like most of the kids that go to private schools, they end up doing well. You know, they go off, they become lawyers, doctors, and it's almost like a guarantee, you know. So what I'm saying is we can create that environment. We can create that environment in the church, whereas in the private schools, those kids are being their attention is more on them. Like, it's kind of like a smaller setting, it's more of a one-on-one. They're sitting down, they're understanding their child, what their child needs, and then they're able to grow to their fullest, you know, to a higher level in a sense. So I believe that's the goal that we're trying to reach here. You know, we can create it in the church by getting the OGs to kind of sit down with the younger generation and just, like, you know, like they were saying earlier, and what he was saying back in the day, the older grandmamas and granddads was able to sit down with you all, the OGs, and tell them, like, yeah, I went through this, you need to do this, or you can do this, and this is where we came from, these are our roots, or what it is that you want to do, or kind of give examples of where the family came from, and like focusing in on what they're good at and helping them to grow in what they're good at. And then now they're more open and receptive of receiving more information from the OGs or from the people that's teaching them, whether it is constructive criticism. But now that y'all have established that relationship, because it's a smaller setting, then, you know, it's more accepted. And then in the public schools, you know, it's kind of like too much going on. Like you got these big settings and ain't that much attention. You gonna get them what you can get them during their time, and then they gone.
You needed to consider. He stopped me in the middle of the conversation and said, I don't want to talk about it. So when you're talking about listening, the majority of you all don't want to listen. Because when it comes to a hard conversation, hard decisions that you have to make, you don't want to hear, because you don't want to think about that decision. You don't want to hear somebody else say to tell you what's best, because most of you, and not all of you, but a lot of you think that you already know everything anyway. And so, so when you say not listening, that goes two ways.
For sure. So so to bounce off of that, go ahead. That's Ellie.
I feel you, momentum, you had something to say, respond, go ahead.
The younger leaders, and I understand that it's the younger leaders. But let me, forgive me for taking a few extra minutes, but since you all are talking about church, I want you to hear directly from the past in terms of talking about church, in terms of what I said. The question that I ask millennials is, can I build anything with you? And here's what I mean when I say, can I build anything with you? I'm trying to build something. And when I say I'm trying to build something, I don't mean just, me, but we're trying to build something. We're trying to build ministry for our kids. We're trying to build things that address what you're talking about. I'm not trying to build things in competition to a white church. But I want to have as much as any church. And I don't want to have stuff just to have stuff, but I want to have things because of who we're supposed to be. And I want to build something. But to build something, it takes money. That's just one component. Millennials don't give. When I look at, when we look at giving statistics, my retired people give more than my millennials. So the question is, can I build something with them? When it's time to start, my old folk here and I can't find my millennials. So the question is, can I build something with you? Will you be where you're supposed to be when we're trying to do something? If I give this to you, and if I walk away when I come back, what will it look like? Will it be, because yesterday Courtney shocked me and aggravated me. Because Courtney said, tomorrow we're having a meeting with the millennials at 5:30. I said, I thought it was 5 o'clock. He said, we give them folk 30 minutes to come in. I'm like, we don't do that. We do, we say what we mean. Yeah. Because if you say 5:30, then the other folk are going to come at 6. Yeah. So you understand what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to take sides. I'm just saying I'm seeing people, and I'm seeing a people that I want to turn things over to. Because I don't want to be one of those trying to hold on for my life. I want to turn it over, and I want them to be more successful than me. But I want to make sure that what I give you, you don't lose. Or that what I give you does not deteriorate. I want to make sure that it gets better.
Panel has done a great job in preparing themselves. Questions from the audience have been awesome. If you still have everybody. But while we have discussed all these things, it is impossible for us in a 2-hour or a 2.5-hour window to discuss it all. So what that means is that we're going to have more of these conversations. So, in closing, I just want to give us something to take home. That thing is I want us to look at, what we should be trying to work towards is mirroring the image of Christ on the cross. And when we think about Christ being on the cross, we think about him being outstretched, nailed to the cross. And what that picture represents is us having different relationships. That means that we need to have the upward relationship with those that are older than us. We need to have that relationship. It's not just something that's a good thing to do. It is a necessity. Again, because of the point that I made about perspective. You need people with a different vantage point, a higher perspective than yourself. Next, when we think about him being outstretched, we think about the relationship amongst those that are in our own age bracket. Because I may have a certain mindset about something, and my friend may not. So now it's indicative upon me to talk to my friend, to bring my friend along where I am, because I have a relationship with the older heads or the OGs or the whoever, however you want to phrase it. Lastly, we should be looking downward, because there are always people that are behind us that we need to reach back to pull up. There are kids that are growing up who see what you all are seeing, but they see it totally different than you do. You're talking about how they look at it from you, but what about the people that's sitting over there on the backside of their curtain? They're looking at you like, man, the way you think is outdated. And so there's got to be that level of dialogue that we represent Christ's image on the cross. We have the upward, we have lateral, and we have that beneath us that we're working to pull up. So with that, we're just going to close. Again, we're in the interest of time. We want to be respectful of everyone's time. I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank the panel for putting this on and allowing me to moderate this. Again, I implore you, dig deeper for more topics. This is neat.
Can I look into everything that I need? Baby, you are a